Hey guys, welcome back to Devious Devices. Today I want to talk about the overall layout of Globule number 3, the sort of game concepts I'm considering and thinking about, the inclusions of dungeons, the difficulty scaling, all those kinds of things. And then we'll go look at a few things I'm experimenting with building, just really briefly. First, let's respond to some comments, questions, suggestions in the comments section. Getting a lot of good feedback. I'm glad you guys are liking the videos. I'll try to keep them short, maybe around 15 minutes, short and to the point. Try to keep them only interesting stuff, not too much tedious construction, because it is very time consuming. But first, someone suggested I check out Voxel Sniper for building terrain, and I will do that. I'm going to try out Voxel Sniper, World Painter, World Edit, and a few other mods and plugins for creating terrain and maps and stuff, and see what the various strengths and weaknesses of those programs are. Let's see what else. Oh, someone gave me the code. Several people posted the code used for super flat worlds to generate void by default, and I will switch over to that. I was pretty sure you could do that. I just didn't know the code off the top of my head. So I'll switch over to that, so it'll do that by default. And some other people were concerned about spoilers and whether they should avoid these videos so they don't get spoiled on the map. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible as far as the final map is concerned. So I may show you the finished version of the starting area, and I may show you very small fragments of other areas, but mostly I want to stick to showing rough ideas, gameplay mechanics, different concepts, sketches of terrain, those kind of things. And I don't want to spoil anything for the final map, so don't worry about that. I will try my best not to spoil anything. So right here, I built myself a little palette of all the different blocks in the game that we're going to be using to generate the globules and various combinations of them. And then over here, I sort of got rid of the duplicates, so I could just look at the pure types. For instance, I got rid of all the different colors of wool, so we just have one block of wool. Same with clay, and I got rid of the leaves and the planks, so we just see the wood. And I got rid of the ores, so we just see the blocks. So these are basically the number of different types of thing in the map. Did I duplicate here? There's already a clay here. So we got dirt, stone, sand, gravel, grass, mycelium, etc., etc. These are basically all the different types of globules we'll have to make. And it started getting me thinking. I've been thinking about having a sort of a hub in the map that you'll come across fairly quickly that maybe will have some objectives for you. And it got me thinking about I've been obsessed with maps lately because I've been mapping on the Minecraft server. And I was thinking of having a map in the central floor that would be sort of like a basic layout of the entire map when you get there, so you can use it to navigate the world. And I wouldn't, at that point, I was thinking instead of using the actual blocks, I would use either hardened clay with the various colors or colored wool. So at the very center of the map would be the dirt block, right, where you start. And this also got me thinking. Here is the victory monument from my Inferno Mines playthrough, the completed victory monument. And people have asked me quite a few times, Zisteau, are you ever going to make a CTM map? I've been asked that a lot. And the answer is almost certainly no. I'm not, because I sort of feel like that is Vex's territory. Like, that's his baby. That's the thing that he created. And that's sort of the innovation he brought to the map-making world. And I know he's perfectly fine with people making CTMs. In fact, he released like a bunch of MCEdit schematics with intersections and victory monuments and stuff. He likes people making CTMs, and I have no problem. Let me just clarify. I don't want people taking me out of context. I'm not saying I think other people shouldn't either. In fact, there was quite a few very good CTM maps that other people have made. Uncharted Territory, The Ruins of the Mindcrackers. There's several that are really good. Vinyl Fantasy comes to mind. I'm not saying I disapprove of them or anything like that. I just think personally, I would rather try to work with, try to come up with some new map concepts rather than doing something that someone else is already so awesome at. So no CTM, but this got me thinking, what's the really brilliant thing about the Victory Monument? Let me land for a second so I can walk around. The really brilliant thing in my mind about the Victory Monument is that it lets you see your progress in the map from one location. So challenge maps were around before Vex made the Victory Monument. In fact, Super Hostile was around before the Victory Monument. And those maps sometimes could get really big. Vex wasn't the first person to put dungeons in a map. But there was never any way to see, well, how much of this map have I done? How much have I conquered? And what this is like a visual representation of your progress through the map. You can see, oh, I've done the first few areas and I've got all of this left to do. I've barely even started. Or I'm only missing the black wool. We're almost done. This has been a huge journey and I can see that we're almost finished. I think that is really, I think the Victory Monument is an amazing idea, and it's pretty damn genius, I have to say. And I don't plan on making a CTM, but I think maybe I can use this concept of having an area in my map where you can sort of see your overall progress for the entire map. So I've been fiddling around with this for a little while. And I think somewhere in the map, there's going to be a hub area. And you'll probably find it fairly soon. It'll probably be in the stone area, so you'll get to it pretty quick. And this is just sort of a rough draft. It probably needs to be bigger now that I think about it. Probably needs to be bigger. And it might have like a series of teleporters. So maybe this terrace here. Let me get some buttons. And some signs. Where are signs? Let me just get it here. So maybe there would be a series of teleporters here. So it would be like that, and it would say, I don't know, Realm of Dirt. I mean, I would probably come up with a better name eventually, but that would be sort of a terrace with teleporters to get to all the various areas. And I would like it so that, I haven't quite looked into command blocks. I would like these to not work until you've actually traveled to, for instance, the Realm of Dirt and use the teleporter there to get back here. I don't want this to, like, negate all the exploration and traveling in the map, but I would like it to make shortcuts possible once you travel to an area and find the teleporter. What I might do is do something like in Ruins of the Mindcrackers 2, where I might have this area in like the Realm of Stone or whatever. There may be cliffs all around, and the various teleporters back here may be hidden in those walls. And I may just try to ask people to have a gentleman's agreement not to try to look for the teleporters beforehand. I haven't really looked into command blocks yet. So that's something I still have to look into. Okay, let me put these back. Stone, and I think this was wood. But we're going to have a hub area, and in the center, I was thinking of having some sort of map that would represent the overall layout. So you'd start out in dirt, and then you'd have to travel to find the wood area. And I may give you a tree at the beginning, or I may not. These are things I haven't decided. I'm still being kind of experimenting with concepts. After you get trees, you'll have to go find, maybe stone will be over here. You'll have to go find coal. Whoops. You'll have to go find coal. And then you'll have to go find, maybe iron is over here. I don't know. This is just hypothetical. And then maybe gold. But I'm thinking there may be like 3 tiers of items. Gold maybe actually out on the outer tier. So maybe diamond will of course be out on the outer tier. Emerald will be out on the outer tier. Lapis, although it doesn't have much use, any practical use in the game, that'll be on the outer tier. And also quartz will be out on the outer tier. What else? What else would be out there? Oh, redstone. Yeah, redstone, definitely. So let's grab a redstone block. So maybe there would be some sort of representation in the hub, something like this. And it would look prettier. And it may not be set into the floor. Maybe it'd be up in the ceiling or like hovering in midair or something. Some sort of representation to tell you where things are. And while we're talking about the overall layout, so I've never put dungeons in a map. I guess Kill the Runner kind of had dungeons, but I've never put like serious dungeons, like super hostile type dungeons. And I'm thinking I'd like to start including them. Previously, Globule has always been very casual. It's just about having a crazy, weird world to live in and maybe do some exploration. And I want to keep that, but I would also like to add some sort of difficulty. So these represent small dungeons. So I may put some small dungeons scattered around, and this looks really terrible. I'll make it look prettier, don't worry. This is just a way to talk about the ideas. So I may put small dungeons in the area, and the farther you get from the center, the bigger and the more dangerous the dungeons get, but the better the rewards. So maybe like out here between, maybe between the center, the dirt, and the first tier of globules, there would be these small dungeons that wouldn't be very big, they wouldn't be very tough, and the reward wouldn't be that great. But maybe it would have like a steady, maybe like this one would have a lot of efficiency 2, unbreaking 2 stone pickaxes or something. Something to like improve your game significantly, but not make you super overpowered. Then when you get maybe out in between the second tier and the third tier, there would be a series of slightly bigger ones. And the rewards in these guys would be a little bit better. And then once you got out beyond the third tier, there would be a series of very difficult, very large, well, I don't know about how large, but larger than anything else, any other dungeon in the map. A series of very difficult, very large citadels that would have a very nice reward. Maybe like a super, like this one might have like diamond efficiency 10 picks with unbreaking 10, or you know, something that's really good that would make your time in this map significantly better. It would improve your character, almost make him super powered. And now that I look at this looks kind of really, I don't think I'm going to do this in the floor, but this is the kind of idea. And I'm thinking instead of having something like this where you just list all of the blocks you've collected in a string, maybe it'll be in the floor and it'll represent the actual layout. So maybe instead of there being dirt here, there'll be a sign saying dirt here. And then once you get dirt, you can replace it. So I might do that, or we might do something like this where you've got to place the blocks around this outer circle on the upper tier. I don't know, but that's just basically the concept I'm going with. I've also been toying with some different styles of terrain, particularly for dirt. I've been mostly toying with dirt. So if we follow this, I made this road because there's so much void, it's hard to find things sometimes that I've built, and I've actually gotten lost out in the middle of the void trying to find things I built in MCEdit. So I showed this. This was just basically a brief sketch. You can see the brushes I used here to construct this, and it's very rough. This is not what the finished product would look like at all. I just wanted to get an idea out. So this is one idea of having the terrain look really weathered, and I wouldn't say natural, but I would say like very eroded, canyony terrain there. And then I did something completely different. So this is an alternate version of the very beginning area. So for this version, you would start here on this little guy, and I would give you workbench, a furnace, some bread, seeds, and fishing rods. And you'd have to survive on this little guy for a little while until you had enough materials. Maybe you would have to farm some trees and make some plank bridges out so that you could escape. And then once you get off this guy, you wouldn't have to do much bridging, hardly ever anymore. This map will not be bridging heavy. Let me say that very clearly. Not be bridging heavy. Heavy. Will not be bridging heavy. So this is just an alternate idea. I'm still being quite experimental. I haven't nailed down anything. I'm just I'm testing the water, seeing what seems cool. So when I made this, it sort of gave me an idea that maybe the pure globules that are like purely about one block. So this one is kind of about dirt. Even though right now there's water and trees there, this is a dirt globule. And it's very, we'll call it pure within the sense of the gameplay mechanics and the way the map is made. So it's very square, it's very blocky. I mean, because we're playing a game about blocks. So it's very blocky and square. Maybe as you venture out from the center of the map, there's some sort of corruption or erosion effect that's happening where the blocks are mixed and they're becoming corrupted, or I don't know, something crazy like that. So what I did to fiddle with that is I made several of these like rectangular solids here made out of dirt, different shapes and sizes, and then I combined them. Let's see if I can find it without getting lost in the void. Should be, yeah, here we go. I combined them into one big dirt globule, and then I eroded the hell out of it. So maybe once you explore a little farther away from the pure dirt globule, there starts to be this corruption effect. And maybe this would be like a combination of 3 different blocks, which, again, it's just a concept, and it's still just dirt. It's just a sketch. But maybe it would be some sort of like ruin, like humanity has fallen, like The Last of Us or The Walking Dead or any other zombie apocalypse movie you've ever seen, where the world is being eroded from the corruption caused by the mixing of blocks, or I don't know. It's just ideas I'm having. And so let me show you one more thing, and then that'll be that for this video. I think there's something really cool and appealing about the simplicity of this, though. I think we may have to experiment more with that. So the only other thing I've really done that I'll show you right now is a few more erosion type effects, but not with blocks, but with spheres. See if we can find it without getting lost. And I allocated 6 gigabytes. Oh, here we go. Oh, and people asked, how am I flying around so fast in Minecraft? Well, I'm using a mod called Zombies Fly Mod. You can find it on the Minecraft forums, and I find it far superior to the creative mode flying mode. So let me just use creative for a second here. Now you notice in creative how when you move left to right, you sort of drift when you stop holding a direction, and you only go this really slow pace. It's very inconvenient for map making, I find. So if I put on zombies, when you stop moving in a direction, you just stop. It's much more precise for building, and there's also a movement speed adjust key, where if you hit it, you go faster, and it's much better for exploring stuff when you're map making. Okay, so here's some spheres I made. And basically I made a big sphere out of stone, and then I made a big sphere out of air, and I overlapped them. And it's starting to have some really cool effects, and I'm starting to find a theme, I think, of sort of like pure shapes and pure blocks, and then some sort of corruption, erosion effect happening. And maybe there's a storyline there. Maybe there'll be science. Maybe it'll just be a visual thing. I don't know, but I think I'm starting to find the style for the map, and maybe that'll influence the gameplay and certainly the visuals in some manner. This sphere is huge. By the way, it's like 150 blocks tall. It's gigantic. Last time I made maps, that wasn't even possible because the limit was still 128. I think I got one more thing to show you. There's one more fragment that's cool. I think it's right here. Yeah, here we go. This is like a crescent moon shape. It's that same sphere. It's just it's been eroded more. It's been corrupted. It's merely a fragment of its former self. And these haven't loaded in, obviously. There we go. Yep. But I'm starting to find some cool concepts. Let me know what you think about these ideas, about anything to do with the map or ways to make maps. Feedback, comments, suggestions. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Take it easy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.